We're going to talk about what to do when you are spiritually, emotionally, practically mature, and you are ready to pursue a relationship with the intention of marriage, and you think you found the person that God is calling you to pursue this relationship with that could be a possibility for marriage. And we're going to talk about how do you enter that relationship and what should that relationship look like. So you see at the top of your page that title there, Initiating a Relationship, and what that season looks like. Another good name for that will be, this is really the night of C's. We're going to talk about counsel and community. A lot of big C words tonight that you'll see are very important. And communication, the 3 C's tonight. Counsel, community, and communication. So first thing on your paper there, when you think, and I'll address kind of the guys a little bit more than the girls, you'll see why in a little bit, but this applies to everyone. But when you think, I'm ready to pursue a relationship, well, first thing that should be there, number one there is counsel. Counsel. Who knows what the word counsel means? Counsel, Marcos. So guiding, someone guiding you, counsel. The advice of other people. So that first number one, Roman numeral 1, counsel, counsel, counsel. Getting other people's input and advice. Proverbs 11:14 says, where there is no guidance, the people fall. But in abundance of counselors, there is victory. Talk, guys, talk to the godly people in your lives. In terms of relationships, in terms of, are you in a place where you're prepared? In terms of, is this somebody that's a good person for me to pursue? Letter A there. First person to look at. Your father. Yes. Now listen, as we go through tonight, I understand that this won't apply perfectly to every situation. Sometimes you have different family situations, family circumstances, so you can't do this like cookie cutter, perfect way of doing things. But there are certain principles that everybody can apply. For instance here, we talk about speaking to your father. Now, some of you, maybe you don't have a father. Maybe your father's not a Christian. If you don't have a father, you seek the godly leader. Who's the spiritual leader in your life? Who's that person that you can go to for guidance and direction? If you have a father that doesn't follow Jesus, you can still seek his advice. And you can still ask his opinion on things to honor him and to see what he'd have to say. And follow those things when they don't go against what the Bible would have to say. Look at Proverbs 4:1 there. Hear, O sons, the instruction of a father, and give attention that you may gain understanding. Letter B. Who thinks they know what goes there? Elders. Elders, very good. What's an elder? An older person, but in terms of the church context, what is an elder in the church?
Spiritual leader.
Spiritual leader, yeah. An overseer. Do you guys know who our elders are here at Sarewoods? Yeah, we've actually had a recent change on who are the elders. Yeah, Linda, you want to help us out?
Mr. Browning, Mr. DeRisi,
and Chet Godleski. All right, and now that doesn't mean that those guys that were elders before that you couldn't go to either. But they're not in the role at this time, but they're still men that you can go to for godly wisdom. The elders, look at the verse for elders. 1 Peter 5:5. Would someone read that for me? Nick?
You younger men, likewise, be subject to your elders.
Yeah, be subject to your elders. Ask them, guys, ask them, hey, when you're thinking about marriage, you can go to them and say, do you think I'm at a place where I'm ready to get married? Do you think that this girl, if they know her, is someone that seems like a godly woman for me to pursue? And letter C, people in the church, Christian friends, married couples. If you see a happily married Christian couple, they probably have some good advice that they could share with you. Now listen, if everyone's telling you, maybe for many of you this is years ahead, okay? So right now you're like, Angela, this is, I'm not ready for this, okay? But just for when you get there, this is a big heads up. If when you're ready and you think, I want to pursue this relationship, and everyone around you is telling you you're not ready to get married, there's probably a reason they're saying that to you, not just to upset you. Or if they see that you want to pursue a certain guy or a girl, or you're in a relationship with them, and everyone that's around you that cares about you is saying it's not good for you to be with that person, there's a reason they're saying that. And they don't want to upset you and make you mad, but they care about what's best for you. So listen to the counsel of other people. Involvement of community. We see this need for community throughout the relationship. People being involved. You want people to be involved. All right, when you get into a relationship, when you pursue marriage, and throughout your marriage, you will want other people to be there, and the people to be with you guys. Look at Proverbs 15:22. Do you see that one there? Can someone read that one for me? Alexis?
Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed.
They succeed, yes. Very good. With many advisors, your plans succeed. It's good to get a lot of minds, a lot of opinions, especially here in the church where people are seeking God and God's word together. Think for a second about your wedding. Imagine your wedding day. When you invite people to your wedding, understand that inviting those people to that wedding is not just inviting them to one day, one event, and that's it. You're actually inviting those people to share in your whole story, to share in your whole love story. Imagine your wedding day, okay? And imagine, guys, you're all nice, dressed up in your tux, you're waiting there at the altar. Girls, you see the girl start coming down the aisle, right, wearing her nice white dress, and she comes up to the front. And as she comes up and she stands next to you at the altar, you look around, and there's nobody there. No one sitting in the pews. There's not even a pastor there to conduct the ceremony. How's that wedding going to go? It's going to be kind of lame, right? You want people to be there. You want people to be there because this is a joyous occasion. You want people to share in the joy that comes out of this relationship. And that doesn't apply just to the marriage, the wedding day, but to the whole process. That goes for while you're in the relationship and throughout through your marriage after the wedding. You want people to be there. It's a shared celebration. And you want people to know the joy that you're experiencing and to share in that. Now, why is community so important? You see that on your list there, and there's 3 things. Number 1, to keep reality in check. Well, I think we need to keep reality in check during a relationship. What do you think it's good to have people there to keep your perspective in a good place? Often when you're dating someone, you're in a relationship, you can kind of get sidetracked of how things really are. You can start to get caught up in emotions sometimes. You can get caught up in this other person. Maybe you don't see things as you really could. And you need people from the outside. You need people who look at things from the outside to give their input, who see things objectively, who take a stand outside and they can look in and they can tell you how things really are and how things really look. And plus, here's a big note. If you never see how the person you're in a relationship with is around their family and around their friends, then you're really not getting a good picture of what that person is like and how they act in real situations. Number 2 on why we need that community, accountability. Who can tell me what accountability is? Big word, accountability. Anyone? Accountable, to be held accountable for something? What would that even mean? What would that mean, to be held accountable? Marcos? Responsible for your actions. Someone is there to kind of help you out, keep you on task. Now, in a case of this relationship, they're there, you want people there to help you, to keep you from falling into sin, keep you from sexual sin, keep you from any kind of problem that might be there, or from making poor decisions in this relationship. And number 3, protection. And as we're going to talk about in a minute, girls, for instance, you should want, and you should have a father, or else a father figure that is there in your life, that is there to protect you, that is there to guard your heart, that is there to examine guys that want to pursue a relationship with you, and to give you advice on whether that's a good choice or not, and to be there throughout the relationship time to give you advice. Now, number 2, I think I know what this word here starts with an S. No, not sharing. Something a relationship. It's just what we're talking about tonight. No. Starting. We're just going to talk. It's not some big. It's just what we're going to talk about as our heading. Starting a relationship. But I will give you this now. Fill in the blank on this one. It's the,
Fathers.
no, man.
Man's job.
All right, men. We're going to be on you guys tonight a little bit. But girls, you need to hear this so importantly. It's the man's job to pursue the relationship. Now, immediately there might be some people jumping on me again. Angelo's a sexist. He's saying you got to be, guys have certain roles to do, girls have certain roles. And I'll reiterate this every week if I have to. Guys and girls are equal. Yet God has given to guys certain roles and God has given to girls certain roles. And that's a part of his perfect plan and how things will go best when you follow God's will and his roles that he's assigned. And we'll talk about why it is this way. But as we get into this about the man pursuing the woman, understand it's important to talk about this because the way a relationship begins will lay the foundation for that whole relationship. It will set the course for the whole relationship. How things are in the beginning, even through those early weeks, will lay a foundation for if they get married in the future. Now look at Genesis 2:24. It's a very familiar verse with us. Nick.
For this reason, a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife.
Okay, so the man leaves his father and mother, and he goes after the woman. Notice in that the man has to be ready to leave his home and start a complete independent family unit, separate from his mom and dad. He's taking on now, he's starting his own family unit that's independent of them. Doesn't mean he can't still go back to his mom and dad for their advice. It would be wise for him to do that, but he's no longer under their household. And we see now also Ephesians chapter, this is the one we looked at before, Ephesians chapter 5. The last time we were in the gym, we looked at this passage, both of these passages.